Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of London Club's Carnage. Listen, timing is a madness, right? Because we was going to do the show yesterday. Now it's today. And then today is the day where Tottenham decide to start pulling up trees and moving mad. For every single real transfer show we've had so far, it's really been Tottenham that have been the main talk of discussion in terms of bringing players in. Obviously, Perisic to start with. And now it seems like Bissouma and even a couple of other names that we'll get to in a minute. So, Toby, I'll start with you. How are you doing, bro? Obviously,
I'm
a stupid question.
You can't really see me because it's fucking lighting, but I'm fantastic. I'm delighted. I'm literally on cloud nine. I'm walking on cloud nine. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Certain man were chatting rubbish and sending in all their stupid quotes and shit for the weekend. And now they when it gets to their team, when it gets to their team's turn today to talk about transfers, they'll have nothing to say. They'll have nothing to say again for like the third, fourth episode in a row.
I saw your IG story having a little sing song.
Yeah,
you've already put out your video.
Dreams and nightmares. Dreams and nightmares.
What's he singing? What's he singing about? What you singing about?
You're not a part of the culture, Dan. You're more used to. What's the song that I could sing that you would know? You're more used to 3 lines on the shirt. That's your vibe. That's your vibe. Your vibe.
I'll take it, man.
Culture.
Potts, bro, talk to me. How you feeling? I'm guessing.
Yeah, listen. I'm how I've been feeling for the last 2.5 years, man. This club, this does my head in. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. I've been saying for how long Conte's going to be doing bits at Tottenham. Everyone said, "Oh no, he's going to go PSG." No, he's getting backed, man. Watch out. Spurs are coming. I tell you that now. Not for the title, but they're going to be a force next season. I've been saying it for a while, man. So that doesn't fill me with pleasure, although it does Tobs. So, but it's good to be on, man.
Good to have you back. And Lawless, bro, talk to me. How you feeling? You was going pink there for a while with your colouring there.
I'm sorry, my lighting's out, man.
You know the colour of his shirt.
He was trying to get a West Ham vibe going over there like a rave.
Yeah, West Ham rave. Nah, listen, I'm good. West Ham seem to be edging closer. We do it like bit by bit. We just edge closer. We creep up slowly on the transfers, then wait till the end. So every day it's like, oh, okay, this is closer. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And listen, yeah, I mean, I posted a classic quote from Star Wars Episode 3 in regards to Spurs. Twice the pride, double the fool. That's all I'm saying. They're happy now, but when it all goes wrong, it will hurt that much more. So yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's only one place to start. I said it really at the start.
No reaction. Sorry, that wasn't even a reaction there. It was
I just ignored it. You know, like
but you replied to my tweet with swiftness, innit? Like he was there, like literally.
No. I saw your tweet, and I thought to my head, I know this can't be who I think it is. It just can't be. It just can't be. I know this can't be you talking from a room you can't even be a part of. I just know you can't be talking. I know you can't be talking.
No Bissouma, man. We got Rice. Why do we need Bissouma?
I know you can't be talking.
Listen, I'm just saying.
I know that ain't who I think it is. I know that ain't who I think it is.
Just don't get too excited. That's what I'm saying, because it's gonna hurt.
Why not? Why can't I get too excited?
Because it's gonna hurt you later. I don't want to see that for you.
Why would the sign of Bissouma hurt me later?
Because when it all comes crashing down and you finish like 8th.
Okay, but why would it come crashing down?
But it could do though, innit? Like it's.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I want you to answer my question. Why would it come crashing down if we sign Bissouma?
I'm not saying just Bissouma.
No. But you said you're getting too excited. But we're getting excited about Bissouma, and then you said when it all comes crashing down. So I've asked you a question. Why would it come crashing down with Bissouma? Answer my question.
Because yes, it's a good signing, all of that stuff. But I'm saying he might not rise to the occasion. He might not do for you what you need to do.
No,
I'm not listening. Hear me out, right?
No,
How many times does this club make big boy signings and signings we all get excited about?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so what? Spurs are just a given for top 4, yeah?
No, I'm not. No. All right, so let's go through this properly, right? First of all,
just saying.
I have to ask because the transfer fee is absolutely absurd. I think I read 26 million euros, which is 20 million pounds. Is that true?
25 million quid. Or something
That's
like
a steal. That's a steal.
That is daylight robbery, right? I would have expected him to go for double that.
No,
So
you're
let's
right.
move on
26
from
million euros. Sorry.
Yeah, absolute robbery. Yeah, that is one of the best bargains of the window already. If that goes through at that price, that is stupid. Considering what Tchouaméni just went for, Declan Rice is probably going to cost. We'll get to that in a minute, Lawless. But that is thievery, right? Can I ask though, is his case situation, is that resolved before we get into the player? Because if it's not, that's a bit of a risk you buying him, and that's the only red flag that everybody will have, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I don't think it's resolved yet, but I think it will be resolved. I think this summer. I must admit, I've heard so many conflicting reports with this Bissouma case. Like, some people told me it's on, some people told me no, there's nothing there, this is that and the third. But like, I'm just speaking from a place of logic here. I don't believe Spurs are going for this guy and giving this guy a 5-year contract, knowing that there's a high chance that this guy could be found guilty and can go to prison. And Daniel Levy, of all people, this guy is he's as stingy as it comes when it comes to cash. Like, I don't actually believe that we wouldn't have done our due diligence here. And there's a huge possibility that this guy gets convicted and goes to jail. And then another fella, Spurs ITK, who is actually really, really, really clued up when it comes to the inner workings of football and actually has got a lot of things right, well ahead of the curve a couple of times. He was mentioning this morning about how the guy who Bissouma got charged with, the guy in his 40s, is the one that's most likely to be found guilty. He's the one that's probably going to be convicted and Bissouma will bust case. So let's see. I'm not absolving him of any blame just yet, because there's a trial to be had, and if he is guilty, then he's guilty, and any punishment he gets, it's deserved. But I personally don't see Spurs going for Bissouma if there was a huge threat of him going to prison. I don't see that. It
would be stupid on your part. Yeah, it would be crazy. From a player perspective, I know Lawless is trying to. I don't know if you're trying to make yourself feel better or what you're doing right now.
I don't know what
I'm not buying it, bro, because this player has been in the Premier League playing for a ball possession based team and a very good side in Brighton for a number of seasons, playing certain midfields off the park. Like when he played us at the Bridge. I think they played Tottenham at one point off the park. They had brilliant performance against Liverpool.
This guy's showing out against everyone.
Bro, he is shelling out against everyone. And player, if we're talking about the player here, this is a player I really like. And I know Potts really likes as well. This is a player that I think would have improved our midfield, just like Perisic signing. It's a player that would have improved Arsenal's midfield as well. Probably would have brought a bit more balance to their midfield. I remember saying last week with Libs when they were talking about Tielemans, and we'll get onto that in a minute. I think Bissouma was personally a better fit for Arsenal in terms of what they actually need in that midfield, in terms of a player that can hold, that can sit, that can maybe, when Partey's not available, because you know he is injury prone, he can actually anchor next to a Xhaka, next to a Lokonga. Defensively is going to do what needs to be done in the first phase, picking up the ball, being press resistant, more so than a box-to-box goal-scoring midfielder or whatever you want to call Tielemans. Toby, I saw like a little poll and people were picking up combinations, Højbjerg, Bentancur and Bissouma. Surely it's Bentancur and Bissouma that play in that pivot if he comes. Yeah. There are two best if he comes, they are our two best midfielders, so they will be the starting two. But it's fantastic to have him coming in, because Højbjerg actually did a decent job in the back end of last season for us, actually played well. And now to have him as a rotational piece is what we want, and it's good. Skip coming back in, we have him as a rotational piece. It's what we want. It's good. So now all of a sudden, we now have a midfield. We now have two layers in our midfield that can do a job in both Premier League and Champions League football. So that's what we want. Of course, it's still not the perfect midfield. It's not the dream midfield. I think we still need more quality in there. In my opinion, we still need another. In fact, I say another. We still need that midfielder who is automatic in his passing, can pick out a goal, for instance, good on set pieces. Like, we need that type of midfielder. And funnily enough, Arsenal's main target, Tielemans, would be perfect, and he's available at 25 million. But I feel like if you sign Tielemans, if you went for him as well, I swear,
if you sign,
the Arsenal fan base would fucking implode.
If you sign
Potts would
Tielemans,
not come back.
I'm just being greedy. I'm just being greedy there, aren't I? To be honest, but yeah,
No,
it's good,
you're
man.
not. You're not even being greedy. You're being realistic, bro. That's what I honestly believe. Like that. This is what I thought was gonna happen, man. We'll get into it. Go on, Matisse. Sorry, man.
No, carry on, Tobes. Tell us about this player. I mean, just pissed off by him.
Bro, Bissouma, like the beauty of Bissouma is like every single fan has watched him. So now I know when people are lying. I'll know when people are coming with agenda, because when he was playing for Brighton, showing out, like, when he was playing for Brighton and showing out, every single man and their dog said, wow, this guy's great. How is this at Brighton? I'd love to sign him. This, that, and the third. So now that he's going for Spurs, all of a sudden, he's going to get found guilty anyway. Oh, he's not that great. Oh, he wasn't Brighton's best midfielder. Oh, this, that, and the third. So it's just funny. It's funny to see how the narrative changes now that Spurs are moving for this guy. But you think I care about any of that shit? No, I couldn't give a damn.
By the way, you know, Moyes apparently, according to reports that came out last week, turned down the chance to sign Bissouma.
Why would he do that?
He's a fool.
Very stupid. That is a massive upgrade on Suchek.
He's a fucking fool.
Apparently, there's two things
you've just made Moyes look like an absolute fool. If that's the case, how is that the case?
They're putting 150 million price tag on Declan Rice, and we signed Bissouma for 25 million. Or was
it's 35 if you include all the add-ons and all of that. So don't try.
Still a bargain. Still a bargain.
Where do you pluck that 35 million?
I haven't seen.
I see it with add-ons. Add-ons. You add on.
Where did you see that?
It's not.
Where did you see that?
No, you're just making it up. This making it up.
I'll tell you the source later. I'll tell you what I see.
Tell us the source now. Tell him to show us the source right now. He's lying to you, bro.
Let me check it.
He's lying. I don't know what's wrong with you.
It was Football Terrace. It was Terry.
Oh my fucking
Football Terrace. That's crazy,
Terry.
That's crazy. Terry's worse than Tancredi Palmieri or whatever his name is.
He's got links, man. He's got links.
So you've bypassed what is it? Weinstein and Fleck have said,
bro. He bypassed Ornstein, Gary Jacobs,
Romano.
I think Lawless is trying to hear what he wants to hear right now.
Though the add-ons barely. Everyone wants the headline. Most of the time, the add-ons don't get reported. So the add-ons tend to come out.
It was reported for Nunes. It was reported for Tchouameni. It's been reported for all these transfers, so why would they not be reported now?
Lawless, look, I love what you're trying to do, bro. But Bissouma's been it's going to be a quality signing, bro. Let's just accept it.
It is a good signing, but I think why Moyes turned down the chance to sign him, there was two reasons. I think one, he prefers James Ward-Prowse. I know,
that's a massive L. Carry on.
Yeah, but two, I think there's the whole thing about obviously the case is a big deal, and you know what? It's so funny to me that Tobes is sitting there all happy about Bissouma. This man brought an inflatable cat to West Ham versus Tottenham, right? Okay. And wanted to throw all the cat kicking stuff when that stuff was them cases were going on. Now he's raving about his own player that's got a case. So
no. I think you've got two things confused here, because that's called a joke. It's banter. Throwing cats in the stadium is banter. I wasn't one of these people who was throwing the book at Kurt Zouma. I actually was the other way around. If you actually listen to most of what I said, I actually thought that people were doing way too much with the Kurt Zouma situation. It's a fucking cat. It's a fucking cat. And people are asking for him to lose his livelihood, to be sacked at West Ham, all this stuff. It was nonsense. It was ridiculous.
So Bissouma's one is case. Because obviously it's all alleged. And
so what is this? Is this case wars or something? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're doing here.
I'm just saying, like, this guy fans.
Have you noticed yet that this guy can't come with sound football logic for why Bissouma won't work at Spurs? He just keeps.
I didn't say he won't work. I'm saying
that doesn't have anything to do with the context of what we're talking about.
When did I say he won't? He's not a good signing, or he won't be a good player.
What point are you making here with the case?
Okay, well, what I'm saying is, Tobes, is a lot. Okay, so you've said, like, obviously you was just joking with Zouma, but a lot of your fans got on their high horse, right, and got on this moral high ground about Zouma, and are sitting there throwing parties over signing Bissouma, right? So what I'm saying is, like, have some of that same energy, or have some shame about yourselves.
Why would I? That's them.
I'm saying if it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you, but
Yeah.
it applies to your fan base, right?
Whatever, fine, cool.
And I'm saying, I think it's a good sign. Listen, you've done a madness there, right? Cases aside.
Nah, Tuchek's better.
Well, we'll see innit next.
Man said
we'll see. We'll see.
What do we need to see?
Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? We'll see.
Tuchek scores a
No. Hold on a second.
It's crazy.
No.
Spots.
Bro,
But we don't need Suchek. We got Rice. Listen. Who's next
okay. So we're gonna get to Rice. For how long are you gonna have Rice after just offering him an 8-year contract? He wants to go. I saw Football London reported that there's a £75 million fee where you will start negotiations.
Source now.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just naming it. It's better than the source you gave. Better than the source you gave. But carry on.
Football London's as the gold. Everyone else is fugazi.
Yeah, better than the source you gave. But anyway, carry on. You know you're going to lose Rice at some point. He's not signing a new contract. He wants to leave. You know this. And West Ham fans know this. But yet you guys try to pretend like as if he's going to stay and he's going to sign a new deal. You've offered him an 8-year contract with like 200k a week. Yeah, he's rejected it.
Stupid.
Yeah, you know he's leaving. He will leave.
8-year contract.
Jesus, bro.
Like Winston Reid signed one when Arsenal were in for him. He signed
but that's
Winston
Reid.
Bro, you can't compare them two, man.
Winston Reid actually wasn't very good in comparison. That's the difference. You know, at some point you're losing Declan Rice. Oh, yeah, but who's better, Declan Rice or Winston Reid? Who's the better footballer?
Yeah, of course.
Right,
listen, but Reid was the captain in his heyday, mate. But
right.
no, what I'm saying is,
So why would you not? I don't get it. You're saying you have Declan Rice like as if you shouldn't be making plans for after Declan Rice.
No, of course. No. You're right. Listen, I would have listened, right? Cases aside, when I see that report about Moyes turning down the chance, I was like, what are we thinking here? Like, why would we not jump on this opportunity? Because you have Bissouma and Rice in a midfield together. You got Rice who's been getting more attacking, and Bissouma can hold, and maybe they can switch up. It would have been great. And then if Rice leaves the following season, you've got someone of quality there, and then use that money from Rice to then put another player of high quality in there with Bissouma, and then upgrade. So yeah, it's a mad decision. Maybe like we done our due diligence. He's talking about Levy done his due diligence. Maybe we did our due diligence, and our due diligence was a bit better, and we saw that he could go down for this.
So you think your due diligence from that poxy porter cabin is better than our due diligence?
Whoa! The porter cabins are just training facilities. That's not where we do our due diligence.
But why do you think that your due diligence would be superior to us to the point where you've seen something that we haven't?
But
we literally have better. We have better resources, better personnel in every shape or form. What is it that you're detecting that we wouldn't detect?
It's so funny. Levy, right, is all of a sudden this genius. He's the savior.
No, I didn't mention. I have not mentioned Levy once here.
But he's your guy.
Are you starting to? You're starting to remember when we had question marks.
Levy's not the one who's driving this though. Paratici is the one.
That's what I was going to bring up. Him, yes, your new director of.
When you dissing him as well, weren't he a clown?
He did bring in some clowns.
I was listening because he was doing some clown shit last season, but
now he's not doing clown shit with due diligence.
Now he's not. Yeah. He's making amends. But my point was, it wasn't just Paratici. My point was that we have.
That's you right now, Toby. This is you.
You can wave that all you want, but your point around West Ham detecting something that Spurs can't. What the fuck are you detecting?
No, but I'm saying
you better acting like you're on the beach, you know, with them little detectors in the sand. The
metal detectors.
Lawless versus Tobs metal detectors on the beach.
I've driven past their training ground. They're probably still using Windows XP, and he's talking to me about, we may have detected something you haven't. You're probably still using floppy disks. Relax, man.
I'm just saying, maybe we looked at that and thought, there's a chance he could go down. Listen, you talked about this 40-year-old that's going to go down. Maybe he's going to snitch on Basuma or something. Like, you don't know this. Maybe there's a risk. Maybe you thought the risk was worth it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I listen. Like, you should be happy that you've got this player. But what I'm saying is, Tobes, and what I was saying to you earlier, I'm not saying that he's going to all of a sudden flop. What I'm saying is sometimes, you can make good signings, but it's the team, that might flop. So you're not guaranteed anything. So if you finish outside the
we
top
were
four,
guaranteed
of
anything.
course, they're not guaranteed anything.
I didn't say we were guaranteed
they're certainly
anything.
looking a lot stronger next season.
Exactly.
Than their competitors with the business that they're doing. And I said it at the start of the transfer window. Chelsea fans, you need to be very, very wary of Tottenham coming through the spot that we occupy, which is third. We need to be looking at them more so than looking upwards, and that is partly because of the amount of mess that we're in with all of our centre backs leaving and Lukaku situation and all these things and certain players aging. And us needing a big overhaul, but also because of the business that they're able to do and conduct, especially after Arsenal let them into the Champions League. And that brings me on to Potts, who also likes Bissouma and is in the same camp as me. I said last week with Livs, I feel like Bissouma is a better balance for the midfield next to a Partey, next to a Lokonga, next to a Xhaka than a Tielemans is. But it seems like Arsenal have focused all their attention on Tielemans.
Tielemans is a baller, though.
He is.
That'd be really good signing for Arsenal.
I feel like you needed someone to protect the defense.
They need two. They need Tielemans and another.
We needed both.
Yeah,
we needed
they'll
both.
only get one, won't they? So if you could pick one or the other, I mean,
we needed. Yeah, I'm with you, Matisse. I would have gone Bissouma. We need both, though. For me, Tielemans will still be a good signing. Should he come to Arsenal, there's rumours that it is done, but I just don't. Unless it's on the yellow bar and he's wearing a shirt, I just don't get too excited these days. When it comes to Bissouma, I think it's a quality signing for the pure fact that he's Premier League proven. I think he's got all the attributes to get better and better and better. I think he upgrades on that Tottenham midfield, albeit it's not hard to do, but I do think that will complement a lot of the way that Conte plays and a lot of the players around him. I think he's an absolute beast. I think he's a workhorse. I think he's horrible to come up against. And that was everything that I wanted in my midfield. He can sit and anchor that midfield. He can play on the ball. I just love him as a footballer, if I'm honest with you, and have done for 2 years. And I really thought, seeing as he's a massive Arsenal fan, Arsenal would have been in for him. I do not think for 1 minute that Tottenham have not done at least some insurance looking into, let's say, as to what might happen if things go wrong. I would be amazed if that's not been done. So I would see this as a huge, huge signing. And if I'm honest with you, so far, Tottenham are in the race to having the best window, because for me, Fraser Forster has come in as a good backup. I think Perisic, like Tobs said, I don't know what stream it was on, or if it was even on one that I listened to when I wasn't on, I think when Livs was on, saying how he will be suited to the Premier League because of his attributes and because of his fitness levels, because of the fact that he's not injured. I think he'll be a great signing. If it's rumours that are true, that there's going to be more, like the Jed Spencers and the Christian Eriksens that people are talking about, I just think if they are going to keep coming the way they have been coming and they throw in a centre-back sooner or later, yeah, Tottenham are going to be the best of the rest next season. I said this a few weeks ago that they're going to come third, and I stand by it. I really believe that. I don't think they'll get ahead of Liverpool or City.
You can't be that much of a massive Arsenal fan, though, really and truly, like Bissouma. Maybe like he had a soft spot for Arsenal, but when you say like massive art, he can't.
No, he is. He's slutted himself up for Arsenal a couple of times. He is an Arsenal fan. It's widely documented.
But also, I feel like he's making
football in the end of the day. It's his career.
It's football, yeah, that's the point I was going to make. You got Conte, you got Champions League football, you got Kane.
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go, Lawless?
And you'll probably more than double your wages as well. So
the way I see it is, if he's going to go in there, he's going to say, right, where am I going to go at the moment? I'm a massive Arsenal fan. Gareth Bale was an Arsenal fan. Do you know what I mean? Like, it goes back. Tim Sherwood was a massive gooner. These players don't care. They go in there and they want to play for their career.
You can't call them massive fan. Like, players are different. Like, I would never say anyone. Like, to me, and I'm just saying this because if I was a footballer, I'd be different. But I'm a genuine West Ham fan, a massive West Ham fan, right? If, you know what I mean? I wouldn't play for Spurs, right? What?
He said
you could have called me.
No, right. But what I'm saying is, it's
so like you're saying you wouldn't play for Spurs if you had the opportunity of going to Champions League football playing under Conte. You would say no.
No, like especially like the first, like what is this? It's like just open. June's just come, right? Windows just open. All of a sudden, boom, straight away. Like no hesitation. No.
Should you really wait around?
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm not having a go at him. What I'm saying is, I think we need to evaluate when we call these football players like fans. Like,
you should never really take it too seriously. No, you shouldn't take it too seriously.
He is a fan, and I think if Arsenal did come in for Bissouma now, then there would be a discussion to be had there. He would have to make a decision, and for all we know, he could pick Arsenal. he could pick Arsenal because he supports. He actually likes Arsenal. But
I think he'd be tempted, but I do believe. I don't think we're going for him because he's too old, mate. He's 24. We're going for 19-year-olds. So
the daycare nursery that is Arsenal. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
it's unreal, man. That we've given El Neni and Nketiah contracts and signed another 19-year-old winger that we don't know anything about from Brazil. And Tottenham are doing bits. So this is why I don't trust our process, and I like what Tottenham have done, because as much as I hate the club and I hate their fans, I have to sit there and be honest as a football fan and say I like what they're doing at the moment. It's for now. Buying Perisic is to win now, not in 5 years' time. Is to try and do something this season, which I think they've got a chance of doing in terms of a trophy. I don't think they're going to win the league. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League, but they've got a great chance of getting very close to both of those things with an elite manager like Antonio Conte. And at the moment, what I'm seeing from them business-wise is very worrying, not just for Arsenal. So I don't think we ever got a chance of getting top 4 next season. So I don't even see already to us competing with Tottenham. I don't, because I just think Tottenham have got an elite manager, and I think they're going to do very, very well next season. So this is for everybody. Chelsea, Matisse, if I was you, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'm worried about Tottenham, what they're doing. West Ham, likewise. Man United, likewise. So I just think it's facts.
I think it just goes to show that 18 months ago, Ryan Mason came in, or was it? Yeah, and he took over from Mourinho, a cup final. Now we're having conversations about Tottenham moving up levels from where they were at that point, and we're talking about not even chasing top 4. We're talking about now being in top 4 and being comfortable, really, if they keep moving like this. Because I think what people are still failing to grasp with Tottenham is that they have Conte. If they had a Tottenham level manager, no disrespect, if they had a manager that you'd expect at Tottenham, then you could still say, okay, they're still fighting for top 4, they're still battling whatever with these new signings. It's Conte. Conte doesn't play these games, and he's showing that. The last question I have before I move on to this attacker battle that I've got written up here, that all 3 of our clubs outside of West Ham who are moving in silence, as Cams would say.
We're closer to making signings than Chelsea or Arsenal right now.
Who are you bringing in before I pivot away? Who are you bringing in?
Aguerd is just been he's flying. Oh, you're all hipster, yeah. You're all hipster, knowing all these players from foreign leagues, yeah. Until it's time for West Ham to fucking sign one. Yeah?
No, but seriously, who is that?
Moroccan international centre-back, was the best centre-back in League One last season for Rennes. Helped them get Champions League football or the season.
I'm not even doubting his quality. I've just genuinely never heard of him because I don't watch Rennes.
But I've brought him up to you on this show before, though.
I'd heard of him because of that. But why haven't you signed him yet? I've been waiting with him for 5 weeks.
I know. Like West Ham, we do things slowly in negotiations. He's been away with Morocco for the
6 weeks ago, you linked with him.
Nation thing, but he's flown to London today. He should be in London right now, doing his medical, all of that stuff. We're improving on a position there. That's improving on the position. So he plays next to Zuma. That's big shout. We're dealing with the Areola. Areola's flown back into London. So that's a big improvement going forward now for us. So keeper, centre-back wrapped up early, right? Early. So listen, we're making moves, but our moves aren't as like flashy, right? We're not playing like FIFA career mode and all of this stuff and signing names.
What you think we are?
We're doing our scouting, yeah? We're actually sitting there looking around Europe going, right, you know what, this guy's going to be something, and getting him. So no one's going to be doing
that. You have faith.
That's what I'm saying.
Lawless, man.
Who's going to do backflips over our signings, yeah? You're not, right?
Man.
But what's going to happen, right? We're going to be doing combined 11. Then we'll go, oh yeah, Aguerd, yeah.
We will do a combined 11 at the end of the transfer window. We'll do a combined 11.
I'm intrigued. How much are you spending on him?
About 20 mil.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how he performs. I think the one thing I'll give you a lot of credit for, recently anyway, is your last 2 centre-back signings have actually turned out to be relatively strong. Like Kurt Zuma came in, slotted in. Even that Craig Dawson, I was slating him, and I still don't rate him. I don't think he's a good centre-back, but he's had a really good impact at West Ham. So let's see. David Moyes, you've been saying, he's the one. We need Moyes to have control of our transfers, all of this stuff. So let's see what he can do. How old is he?
How old is he? I think he's like 23, 24.
Okay. And
relatively young. He's in his
is he
20s.
left-sided or right-sided?
Yeah, left-sided, which we needed. We didn't have a left side, like a natural
So it's a
left-sided
partner
centre-back
Zuma.
last season. Yeah, because Ogbonna is left-sided. He was injured, so we had no natural left-sided.
Hasn't he been released, Ogbonna?
No. We gave him an extension.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so he should be back. So we're gonna have depth there. Diop might go. We might sell Diop. You know what I mean? So we're making moves. That's all I'm saying. So before you Matisse come out and say, "Oh yeah, you listen," we're gonna.
I just want to see some movement from you guys, you know, because you need.
Have you not announced Lingard yet, or is that still knocking about?
Nah, Lingard might have to. You know what I mean? I think he's too old. You know,
180k a week. No, thank you, man.
Yeah, 180k. I don't think he has the right mentality. He hasn't got the right mentality for us. So we'll let some other, Villa or something pick him up, because they'll just pick anyone up, really. So it's but one point on Spurs, actually, I'd be interested to see your thoughts on this, Tobs. I was thinking about this. I think the best thing for Spurs, right, is if you were to say in the Champions League, when you drop down into the Europa League, and I think, because really and truly, what have you got more chance of winning, the Champions League or the Europa League? Yeah, people will banter you, but what this team's capable of, I just think you're far away from competing for that Champions League. And yeah, you do want to bid it long, but this team, I think, could be really capable of winning that Europa League, which again is another trophy that you could win.
I don't think their aim should be to relegate themselves from.
No, I know that, but I'm thinking not like they should do it on purpose.
So what's the question? I don't get the question.
But would you rather have a European trophy, or would you rather just come out the last 16 of the Champions League? I think that's the question.
Yeah, would you rather go deep in Champions League or win the Europa League?
I would rather win the Europa League because it's a trophy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So
you get Champions League football anyway.
I think everyone that's not the winner of the Champions League would rather win the Europa League. But the journey of trying to win the Champions League is what you're after.
Exactly. I don't want us to drop out just for that. I want us to go as far as possible in the Champions League, even if we don't win it. I'm all about Champions League nights, bro. Like some of the Champions League nights are some of the best nights of my life as a fan. Like going to the Nou Camp, going to the Bernabeu, going to where else have we played to? Going to the Signal Iduna Park and stuff. Being part of a fan in that crazy 5-4 game we had with Man City, or 4-3 game we had with Man City, stuff like that. So those things I want to experience again. And if that means we get knocked out in the semis, cool. But I don't just want us to fail in the group stages just because there's a Europa League potentially on offer. Like, no,
you're not guaranteed to win any of these cup
exactly.
competitions. Anything can happen at any moment.
Exactly. We could even go into the Europa League and lose.
Yeah,
because you could, but so you've got a better chance of winning that.
But okay, let me spin this on you. You have a better chance of winning the Conference League, but would you trade that for your potential of winning Europa League? You wouldn't. Probably.
You mean if it was reversed, if we was in the Europa League, drop out and fall into the conference?
Would you rather drop out, or would you rather keep the dream alive?
No, because do you know what? People think it's crazy, but I think we are more capable of winning the Europa League than Spurs are winning the Champions League at this point. Listen, I'm not even being.
No. But you've only been in it one campaign. What grounds do you have to say that?
I'm saying, based on our squads, right? I'm not saying that you're never gonna be capable of winning it, right? I think just at this moment in time, looking at the other teams that are competing for the Champions League and where you are in your, I don't even want to say this word, but process, right? Where you are, I think we in the Europa League have more of a chance of winning the Europa League than you do a Champions League.
Can I caveat that? The Champions League, because we've won it twice, so I can speak on this, right? I can speak on this. We were never meant to win it either time. We were never really in the race for the Champions League either time. But we won it.
I'm with you, Matisse.
My thing is with the Champions League,
the
Champions League is not like something that you can predict, something that you can look at and be like, those are the favourites, those are the guys that can't win it. Anything can happen. Literally.
Yeah, I agree.
This season's favourites were PSG and Man City. Yeah. Neither of them, which got.
I never would have said Real Madrid. I never would have said Liverpool in 2005. I never would have said Chelsea in 2020 or 2021. 21 or 2012. I never would have said it. I never would have said Porto. 2004 Porto. So anything can happen. I get what Lawless is saying because I think,
Dortmund.
The Champions
They
League
beat
is
Bayern.
harder but you can never really predict a cup competition. What I will say is this: I actually think it's a good time to be in the Champions League if you want to try and win it, because I don't look around and think, oh my God, there's 8 or 9 teams here that are just unbeatable. I look at City and Liverpool and then I'm struggling, no joke. So if I'm Antonio Conte and with Tottenham, should I say, style of play, I think that perhaps they could go further than we're thinking. But I still don't think they'll win the league or the Champions League, but you just don't know.
Even Liverpool are not really unbeatable. Like, they're not that team that you just completely have. We played them twice in 2 cup finals. We took them to penalties twice, and that was with one of our most stressed out, rinsed out teams that we've ever had.
Conte's already done well against
Champions.
City and Liverpool anyway. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Conte's already done well. So I don't think they're going to win it. Don't get me wrong, but I understand what Lawless is saying in terms of West Ham having more of a chance in the Europa League because of the lack of quality of some of the teams in there, and Champions League is obviously the giants up there. But I actually do think that anything can happen, and we've seen already that not the best team wins the Champions League, whereas normally 9 times out of 10. The best team win the Premier League. So it's just a different competition.
We say every single season, City are the untouchable team in the Champions League. They never fucking won it once. Do you know what I mean? Every single season, everybody's scared of Man City, and they're like, "Oh, that's the team you don't want to come up against. They're untouchable. They're unbeaten. That's the team." They have never won it. And this may sound foolish, but I wouldn't put it past Tottenham to knock out a Man City next year. Anything can happen. Honestly, anything can happen. They've beaten them twice last season. It's 2 legs. It's 180 minutes. It's 180 minutes. It's carnage.
I've noticed you keep saying Europa League. Get it right. You mean Europa Conference League. That's what you mean.
I'm talking about. I'm saying West. I'm not saying we're in the Europa League. Yeah. I don't even look down your nose at Conference League because you were there last.
I'm not talking about looking down on the Conference League.
Talking about leveling up.
It's not a good competition. And I said that last year, even when we were in it.
How would you know? You didn't make it far enough to find out. You got out of group stages.
It's not a good competition. Look at the standard of teams in it. I said this before we were in it. I said this whilst we were in it. Doesn't mean I don't want to win it, but it's just not a good competition.
Respect Roma, yeah. Respect Roma. That's what.
I don't disrespect Roma. Like the Europa Conference League is not. It's not a good competition I want to be in. It's exhausting, and the standard of teams you're playing are not that good. They're not. I don't know why that's difficult to say.
It is good in terms of rotation and trying to give other players some experience of European football at the same time. And if you want to build a bigger squad,
if you've got a big squad,
the fact that you're talking about rotating just tells me that it's not that great, though, right? Because
but early stages, like best believe, like once you get to them knockouts, then you want to start taking it a bit more seriously. But them early rounds, depending on what group you draw, like you should be able to mix it up, have a bit of strength in there, give some youth a chance, and then add some players that would normally be on the bench in the Prem.
Yeah, well, fair play. You can enjoy the spoils.
What if we win it? Yeah, I'm telling you, if we win it and you don't win anything, at the end of the season,
if you win it, then props to you. It's still a European Cup. Win it. Simple.
Okay.
Let me ask a question before we move on to this thing at the bottom here. Is Toby, you said you need creativity in midfield. You need the final passer. You need the guy who's gonna, play that killer pass. You haven't got that guy. And Eriksen to Man United. Why are you not involved?
I want Eriksen. I would take it because, like I said, my duo midfield would be Eriksen and Bissouma because it would be cheap, and it not only would it be cheap, but it would be the right profile. Like it would actually fit what we need. Eriksen could be a bit part player that can give us that injection of quality, good on set pieces, got a good eye for goal, can pick a pass as well, and already has a good understanding with the likes of Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. But with Man United, I mean, he's a good player. That's why teams are looking at him. But with Man United, it just feels all too familiar. Not in the sense that Eriksen's a bad player. Not necessarily that's a bad move. I don't think it's a bad move to pick up Eriksen on a free, but it's just it screams like due diligence, a lack of due diligence for Man United on what they actually need as a club. Like their midfield's crying out for a DM, their midfield's crying out for a new Pogba replacement, and they're looking at Eriksen when they've got Bruno as their 10 and they got Van der Beek who can also play in those advanced areas as well. In my head, I'm just thinking yeah, he's a nice to have player, but like, what sort of squad planning is this? Like, there's no plan. They've just seen that he's available and he's a good player. They said, yeah, let's sign him. Yeah, there's no plan. There's no plan with Man United.
At the bottom of my screen, I got the attacker battle. 4 players, 3 from Brazil.
You spelled Raphinha wrong.
Oh, thanks, Toby. 4 players that we've all been linked with. That I'm interested to see where they will end up. So I guess they'll all go to. I don't think anyone will get 2. That would be unnecessary, in my opinion. So I'm interested to see, first of all, who everybody wants. I'll start with you, Toby. I said if Jesus, Raphinha, Richarlison, who you have been linked with, probably the most concrete maybe link, and Sterling, all available, all looking to make a move. Who would you take out of the 4?
I'll do it in order. Sterling number 1, Jesus number 2, Raphinha number 3, Richarlison number 4.
The one that you're linked with the most is number 4.
Yeah, but I want all of them. I like Richarlison. I got no qualms with Spurs signing Richarlison. I think he's a good player. A lot of our fans are shitting on him, but I think he's a good player. But I'm just ranking that in terms of quality. Like Sterling number 1. Yeah. Sterling number 1, Jesus number 2, Raphinha number 3, and then Richarlison number 4.
What about you, Potts? Where are you ranking that?
Yeah, Sterling number 1, but that's not going to happen. I can't see that. I go.
He wants
Raphinha
to stay in London, so he's only got 3 clubs to pick from.
Yeah, he won't come down to the Europa League, bro. He'll stay in the Champions League, man. If he's allowed to leave, that is. I don't even think he will. I think he'll stay personally, but if he does go, then I think he'll be Chelsea. Okay, I'd go Raphinha next. I like this kid. I think he's sick. I really like him. I think he's got so much potential as well. And he's doing that in a lead side at the moment. What could he do that step up? Then I would probably go. I'm on a par really with Jesus. Like, I think Jesus will be wearing a Chelsea shirt. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think we're going to get him. I think he's going to Chelsea. But I'm not so sure I'm massively excited by him anyway, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a good player. He's not prolific. He doesn't really... I think he scored 1 more goal than Lacazette this season, just gone. So he's not going to give us goal contributions. So I'm not so sure that would lift us to where we need to go. But I would go him next. Richarlison, I just don't like something about him. I don't know. I can't even tell you what it is. It's definitely off the pitch stuff as opposed to on the pitch. I just think he's one of those throw his toys out the pram players, which sometimes are good for your team, sometimes are bad for your team. So as much as I take him because he's better than what we've got, he'd probably be the last on that list. So yeah, I think realistically though, I think Raphinha is the one that we probably realistically get out of those 4. I could see Richarlison being tempted by Spurs, Jesus being tempted by Chelsea, and Sterling being tempted by Chelsea also. So yeah, I think Raphinha would be the one that would probably be more than likely if we was to get any of them.
I'd say Raphinha, Jesus, Sterling, Richarlison. I think Sterling's an interesting one because he's a very, very talented player. I was speaking to a City fan there the other day. He feels like he'd best operate on the right wing. That's where he's got a lot of assists in comparison to games played. Finishing wise with Sterling, you wouldn't say he's an elite finisher, but he knows how to find himself in the right positions to bag at the back post. Richarlison, I agree with you, Potts. He's a bit of a strange one. He's one of those players that you can see there's ability there. He's got good statistics throughout the last 4 years or so, considering the club he plays for. And he's also got that dog in him, which some other people will say is very important to have. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not really sure about him making that step
loving
up.
the dog.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Raphinha is very talented. Probably ends up costing, well, maybe the most out of this list, actually. No. But say Richarlison does join Tottenham. Toby, how you feeling about that? Is he just a bench player? Is he behind all 3 of your starters at the moment?
Yeah, he is, but that's not an issue. He can come in and he can displace one of the 3. If he puts together a good run of form and can score, like he can be relied upon to play in the Champions League. He can be relied upon to play in big matches. He can be relied upon to actually come in, give us something different. When our front 3 isn't ticking, isn't firing, he can come in and he can make the difference in those sort of games. And he can actually, Conte can actually use him and give some of the others a rest, play him a couple of times, give him some minutes, blood him. That's the type of attacker we need. We need those attackers who can come in and genuinely displace some of our current front three if they're not on top form.
Yeah, and you mentioned Raphinha, Potts. Is there strong links to Raphinha? And if Raphinha joins, what happens to beloved Saka? Can't rotate.
This is all that happens at Arsenal, mate. What happens to Saka and Smith
What
Rowe?
happens to Saka and Smith Rowe?
And then they'll start crying that our squad's thin. Mate, he would come to Arsenal, I believe. Anyway, he's at Leeds. I think he would, unless of course a bigger team comes in. What happens if he does come is of course rotation. But for me, I'd probably put Saka on the left and play Raphinha on the right, if I'm honest, and have to be a Smith Rowe and Martinelli. Why? Because the output's there with both Raphinha and Saka this year. So I'd probably look at what Smith Rowe's injuries are doing, and Martinelli will have to prove that he can put the ball in the back of the net, which unfortunately for him is something he struggled to do towards the end of the last season. Heavily rumoured, you asked? No. I don't think we're heavily rumoured of anybody but Tielemans, from what I can tell, mate. Marquinhos has come in the door. So that's our winger. I'll be amazed if we do get him, if I'm honest. I think Pepe will go somewhere. I don't know how we're going to get rid of him with his wages and also with a cut price. I don't know who's going to want him, but someone will come in and take him away for probably pennies, and Marquinhos will replace him, and I think that'll be it. I don't think we'll get Raphinha.
Wait, Marquinhos is actually going to be playing regularly this season?
From what I can make out, bro, is another Martinelli, mate. So I reckon he'll be a option for us. From what
it's good that Martinelli's finished developing and you bring in another young player.
He's finished. He's hit his peak, mate. And yeah, it's unbelievable, mate.
Out what it is.
It really is madness to think that what Tottenham are doing. To be fair, no one's actually doing madness, if I'm honest with you, this window, other than and Tottenham have made some good signings. City. But I look at the way they're going. Yeah, of course, Man City. Sorry, yeah. But I don't really look at Man City or Liverpool and go, "Oh wow, like that's we're going to be behind them." We're already miles behind them anyway. We're now just further behind them. But when I look at Man United, Chelsea, West Ham, and Tottenham, there's only really Spurs that are making great signings at the moment. So it's not that we're being left behind as such by the other teams, but I look at the kind of profile of player that Spurs are going for, and I like what they're doing. I don't like what Arsenal are doing, and I don't like this process. And I'll be coming very hard to this ownership now, because I've had enough of Arteta, and he's still here, so there's no point slating him anymore, because there's nothing we can do about him. It's got to be on top of that for me, because if things start going wrong, then it's down to the ownership, because they've put this process in place and it ain't worked for, well, this will be three full seasons now. So that's the way I see it, bro.
We actually bid for flipping Raphinha in January.
Here we go. West Ham have bid for everyone. What's going on, lad?
We do. We bid for
that was reported, but that was a stupid bid. That was January for 50 million in the middle of a relegation back.
For Phillips and Raphinha.
Never going to
50 million for two players.
No. We didn't say like we'll give you 50, give us two, but we bid 50 for Raphinha and 50 for Phillips in January. So apparently we're still interested in them, but I can't see us now.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that they're still players that we admire. We would like.
I'm saying this is no disrespect to West Ham. Are you pitching a bit above your station in terms of the type?
What does it mean that West Ham are interested in those signings?
Sometimes you've got to.
You won't
don't get.
Yeah, that's true. I like that mentality, and I like that West Ham are going for those signings. But I'm just saying that the West Ham interest means absolutely zilch here. Doesn't matter.
We bid though.
No. I'm not talking about the bid. I'm saying if you've maintained interest in the summer, it doesn't matter, because now bigger clubs are in for these players. So when West Ham make a higher bid and the bigger club makes the higher bid, the player is going to choose the bigger club.
Yeah, but the club, the Leeds, are going to choose the bigger bid, the bigger money.
So what on earth makes you think that you will outbid some of the bigger clubs interested in Raphinha?
Well, maybe because that's an area where we're happy to spend more money on, whereas maybe another club are going to go.
So let me get this straight. So Raphinha's suitors in the Premier League will somehow bid less than West Ham.
But if you look at it, it's wait a minute.
Aaron Creswell has blood on his hands. I'm sorry. If you had won the Europa League, you'd actually be able to sit here and tell us why you could get Raphinha, because you have Champions League football, more money, and I'd actually be able to believe you. But not right now.
Wait. What clubs are we talking about, though? I don't know what clubs Toby's talking about.
Raphinha's been linked with Barcelona.
Arsenal and Spurs are interested.
Little link to Chelsea, but
for what it's worth, I don't actually think Spurs will sign Raphinha, but I would love Raphinha. But what I'm saying to you is using Arsenal as an example. Yeah, there's no way on earth you are winning in a bidding war with Arsenal.
But check this, like, so you're Arsenal, yeah, they're gonna sign this player when they know they desperately need to allocate most of their funds to a striker and a midfielder. They also need to look at I don't know if they didn't sign Hickey. Did they sign Hickey at left back? I don't know if they signed him yet.
You don't really need Raphinha as like one of your main issues in your team when you have Bowen, isn't it?
No, but to me, I would like to see Raphinha personally played in the middle for our team.
In the 10.
Yeah, I think that he would do madness for us in that position. Like, to me, I wouldn't want to see us like pay 80 mil for Raphinha. Like, part me would see it just to shut Tobs up. But really and truly, we have bigger fish to fry when it comes to what we need in this team. I do think that he would help us with a bit more creativity in the side and offer us something different than some of the other teams. We know of the players that may be a bit more direct, and him taking players on and creating stuff and making something out of nothing. That's where, but if it came down to it and they said flipping Leeds were like 70 mil, then I'll be like, cool, like he can go somewhere else or whatever. There's going to be teams linked with him. Like Arsenal might even be lucky to get him, let alone us. Let's be real. In terms of, there might be other clubs in Europe that are coming in for him. I know he was linked with Barcelona.
Bayern Munich before as well.
Bayern Munich, Barcelona. So yeah, it could be a pipe dream. But sometimes you've got to get in there early before the other clubs go and turn their attention. Maybe put the right bid in, get that done early. Maybe you can. This is how you got to run your transfer business before, get in there quick, swiftly.
And now even Phillips as well, the other player you mentioned, is now linked with Man City.
Phillips, I think he'll, man, like that's a non-starter. Like if he's going Man City, like he's not gonna leave his boyhood club to come to West Ham. Like he's gonna leave his boyhood club to go Champions League football. Like otherwise, he's gonna stay and ride it with Leeds. So.
You could stay because if Rice goes to Man City, then Calvin Phillips could stay. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, if Phillips goes to Man City, then maybe Rice could stay. But if I'm them, like that could be the future Man City midfield right there. Taking my West Ham hat off, they have Phillips and Rice there.
Yeah, I agree.
As holding, and then because obviously they want Foden to be a bit more obviously forward in front of them. That's some quality young players, like good, like not like are like still serious step above. Like these young players are ready now, and then they
you were gonna say Arsenal, but you didn't say Arsenal, and I want to know. You should just say it.
No, but like Arsenal, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put all of these youngsters in our team, and they're all world class. Like now, it's like no, like if they imagine if you had the team with Foden, Rice and Phillips in there, and then you had the Haalands. Haaland is a young player still. Like this is real.
He's got taller.
He's now
6'5". Yeah, he's still growing, young lad.
Yeah, there you go. Like some big young players in there, and then with some of the experienced heads, get Grealish out of there. He does not belong in that team. Then yeah, this is serious, but yeah, man, it's one of them things with West Ham. Like we missed out on a big opportunity, but that's why our scouting has to be on point. Like I said this the other day on. I can't remember where I said this, but I said this: it's not how much you spend; it's how you spend it. Yeah, that's 100%. The key. So we have to spend it wisely rather than outspend. Spurs can play Monopoly, play Football Manager, all of that stuff, right? As long as we get our scouting in order. You never know. That's what I'm saying. Anything can happen in the Champions League, you said. Anything can happen in the Premier League.
True. So far, Tottenham look like they've spent 25 million on two players, Perisic and Bissouma. They're definitely
Football Manager. It looks if we sign Bissouma for what it's been reported that would be 25 million spent on 3 players.
Yes.
Oh,
doing
Foster
good,
as well. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm
All right,
not
but
gonna
you're
lie.
not. Foster's not even gonna stop like bringing Foster into it. Yeah, it's a good backup signing. But it's a backup signing. Stop throwing him around.
No, but I'm talking about money. I'm talking. It's not throwing anything about. I'm talking about the business we've done. We've signed it.
All right, but still, it's not
What?
business that's gonna make a big difference. Like Foster's not gonna make a big.
But why
difference.
does it have to make a big difference? We're talking about. You said we're playing Football Manager. I said, well, no, we spent 25 million on 3 signings. What does that have to do with?
We know we know where you're going this transfer window. We know what you're going to be doing. We know where you're going to be spending. Right?
So why didn't you tell me that we were going to sign Bissouma until this morning? If you know,
I'm not saying we know who you're going to sign.
Yeah.
But we know 150 million pounds is what you're spending apparently. Like what I'm saying is you can spend 150 mil, right?
And if they've only spent 25 of that so far, I am shitting myself. Can I just make that very clear?
There's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. However,
150 mil doesn't sound much until you spend it like that with your first 3 signings. And then
we've just got to be smarter than Spurs. We've got to identify players.
You make it sound like it's easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's like you said, it's not easy. But
it's not easy.
You never know.
I'm very worried, honestly, and you at home watching should be too. Before we wrap up, I just want to get everybody's kind of like feelings on. Well, Koundé got injured yesterday, his hamstring injury, so it seems like he's gonna be out for a few weeks. Oh, shut up, Toby. Actually wanted your thoughts on Dembele, though, because I don't think I've ever asked you guys on Dembele. It seems like we're going to be bringing him in. Barcelona have stopped negotiations with him. Campos didn't want him at PSG.
Can I get a credible source who's confirmed that, please?
What do you mean?
A credible source who's confirmed the Dembele to Chelsea stuff, because I'm not happy about that.
Well, it's been reported for weeks, Toby. Where have you been?
Yeah. Who is reported? Like, what's the latest update and from who?
The latest update is that we're favourites to sign him, and he is not going to accept Barcelona's current terms, and Barcelona are not going to further offer him a new contract on top of what they've already offered him. And PSG, that was reported from France that Campos doesn't really like the injury issues and the attitude issues prior to whatever he's been doing recently. But I wouldn't rule out PSG personally because, they've just sacked their manager. And if they bring in Zidane, I don't know, that could still happen. So, but if he was to join Toby, how would you feel?
I would be annoyed with that because I rate Ousmane Dembele highly. Like he's a player that I will always defend. He's in that Ndombele bracket for me in terms of players that I fiercely defend.
Christ.
Players I fiercely defend in absence of what they've produced because of the quality that they've just presented.
Rationally defend with no justification.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
is Dembele coming back to Tottenham?
But no, he is, but he's done at Spurs, to be fair. But the reason why I mention that is with Dembele, he's obviously had these issues at Barca, but he's come off what's been a relatively strong campaign where he's been able to stay fit for the most part since he returned from his injury, and he's actually produced. Like he showed out. He's a bag of tricks. He can use both feet. His ambidexterity is a joke. He can shoot with both feet. He can cross with both feet. He can take players on with both feet. He's rapid. He's versatile. Like he's so intelligent. Like that would be for me. That would be an unbelievable signing for Chelsea if they could get that over the line, because I don't think a lot of people realize how good this guy is. Like he is mental mental football player. And I think if Chelsea sign him, then that's a problem. That's a big problem.
He's a cheat, though.
I needed
as
that.
We found out in the Europa League.
Why? What happened? Something go wrong?
Well, no. Listen, we beat him. We beat him.
Blood is on Aaron Cresswell's hands. Honestly, it's a shame. It really is a shame.
It's a shame. It would have been an amazing summer.
Can you imagine? Oh, it would have been nuts if you guys were in the Champions League. Can you imagine?
Jesus Christ!
Would have been such a much more even playing field. Anyway,
but with Koundé, like when I look, was them links really fully serious? Because I look at that right with say with Aguero, right? He obviously we was going to do a medical. It was all close, so he sat out of the Morocco game because he didn't want to obviously get injured and dampen his moves. So
I think World Cup coming up, caught in between two minds. It's a bit stupid though. Deschamps has always managed players injuries quite poorly. He's done the same with Kante. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but apparently Chelsea and Sevilla already knew of the situation with his ongoing hamstring issue for the entire time where they were negotiating. So apparently it's not going to block the move, but I'm not happy about it.
You were trying to get him last summer, right? This is
a
year in the making.
It's a bit stupid. I'm not going to lie. This guy has literally been waiting to join us for a whole year. He was in London a couple of weeks ago, apparently, and so was Dembele. So yeah, apparently they were having talks finalizing things. But Lawless, let them know where to find you. It's been a brilliant episode. You've been trying to trigger Toby as much as possible. How are you feeling? Tell the people where to find you.
Yep, at the Lawless on Twitter. You'll find me there. Come and interact with me there. And yeah, man, that West Ham Fan TV. And listen, come and join me for the ride. This season's going to be crazy. We never know if, like I said, if Spurs do flop, it's going to be entertainment. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't want to talk about his team hoping to do well next year. He just cares about us flopping. Shows you.
Of course, that's a given. That's a given. I'm just saying.
I couldn't give a shit about Arsenal. I'm focusing on my team, but clearly
I'm focused on my team. But I'm just saying how happy you are. It will be funny, won't it? It'll be banter, like what I mean. We want good banter. Remember that time when you thought you was getting that Conte and then you didn't get him, and everyone was showing the Antonio. I know you got him in the end, but we want to.
Why are you mentioning it? If we got him in the end, who won? Who won?
Because we want that fun moment. We want
who won in the end?
Listen, it's not over yet.
Who won in the end of last season when you got dumped out of the Europa League? Who won in the end? Who won in the end when Spurs got top 4? There's a common denominator here.
Oh,
it's all about who will have the last laugh. That's what I'm saying. It's not over, Tony.
Let's just end it, please.
Potts, let them know where to find you.
Pleasure. Oh man, always a pleasure, man. It's funny just listening to these two, to be honest, man. At Dan Arsenal 87 on all social media platforms. Football's 12th Man podcast. We're over there tonight with yourselves, actually, both of you and Big Steve. Which, to be fair, won't be a dissimilar format to this. It's just that Dan Lawless needs a shave, and he's pretty much similar to in looks to Steve anyway. So it'll be similar, man. So look forward to that. And yeah, man, Lee Judges TV and all Arsenal content. So come follow me on Twitter and Insta. And thanks a lot, mate.
There you go. And Toby, let them know to find you, bro. Pleasure as always. Big transfer window. There it is. Look.
Typical Tobs. It's called at Typical Tobs. Is that what it's called?
Oh, God.
Yeah, whatever.
That would have been a great name. I can't lie. We should maybe.
Yeah, you should have had Typical Tobs, man.
Typical Tobes. That would have been brilliant. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe. Links will be in the description and the title as well. And for me, obviously, just smash up the icon, subscribe if you're new. Plenty of content coming up. Hopefully, we actually start to make some movements in the window before we get caught by the shiny toilet bowl team. So yeah, we're not trying to see all that. In a bit, people. Peace.